Alright, today's the day. Y'all saw the intro video. We're here bringing you our top 100 fights in all of Dragon Ball. This is part 1 of our huge series. And me, and of course, we have
Meech right here.
Alright. So we'll start off with number 100 in our top 100 fights.
Today we're going to be doing 100 through 91.
Yep.
It'll be a 10-part series.
Alright, so number 100 we have Broly versus Gohan, Goten, Trunks, a little bit of Videl, and if you think Goku is there, Goku as well.
Depends on if you count his spirit or not.
Alright, for consequences, we have Zero. Sorry, Broly fans.
Yep.
It's a movie, so that knocks it down a bit too. We just saw a powered up Super Saiyan Goku beat him in the first Broly movie. And Super Saiyan 2 Gohan's not as strong as he was when he fought Cell, but still should be able to beat his ass, so it's dumb. I know he got a Zenkai boost, that's what Saiyans do, but still makes no sense they would power up that much. And it's a movie, of course. They're going to be just fine.
Yep,
alright.
Movies always work out that way.
Yep, and for presentation, take it over, Mitch.
Alright, for presentation we gave it a 40. It wasn't that good of presentation, we thought.
Yeah, the only good visuals you actually give us is they had a couple cool scenes in the lava, and the family Kamehameha looked cool, but we'll get that a little bit later. Because at epicness, it scored a whopping 52. Very slightly above average. Mostly just because of that family Kamehameha at the end. That was the only real thing that was cool. Super Saiyan 2 always looks pretty cool, but it's not really enough to give us a bigger bump than that. And uniqueness, we gave it another 52. No, we aren't in love with that number, but
it doesn't get us off.
Yeah, back to back at 52. The uniqueness, again, Family 7 Kamehameha. Goku wasn't there for a movie, kinda. And
so that gave it a boost, because like in every other movie, he's there.
Yeah, he gets the win, even though you could say that because there was that scene with Goten making a wish, and was he there or not? That's all up to interpretation, but we are on the side that he wasn't really there. It was just kind of in their heads because they're just redoing the family son Kamehameha. All right, and
redoing the father son.
Yeah, father son. All right, and at pacing, it's a whopping 10 because that fight took that whole goddamn movie. Anything to add, Mitch?
I mean, it took the whole movie. Started out the first 5 minutes, they're just running around the mountain, and then Broly comes and shit goes down. And that's pretty much the rest of the hour.
Like, literally, the only thing good that came from that movie was a mission we can find 3 Dragon Balls in Xenoverse for super easy experience. Alright, 99. Kid Goku destroying the Red Ribbon Army. For all y'all that say that Goku never kills, you need to watch Dragon Ball, because in that scene, or in that arc, Goku destroyed a whole goddamn army. Alright, start off with consequences, Mitch.
Yep, consequences. Again, going back to our chart that we talked about in the intro video, he was so overpowered compared to the army and whatnot. It wasn't really a challenge for him, so we gave that a big old 10 there.
Yeah, a 10. We didn't include the Mercenary Tao or General Blue fight in there. This is just all the grunts and General Black, the 2 main people on the whole army base at the end. So there was really no struggling for Goku the entire time, except for the mini fights with Blue and Mercenary Tao, which we'll get there. Unfortunately, Blue didn't even make the list because that fight was too drawn out. All right. 42 presentation, 42 slightly below average, which is kind of a norm for early Dragon Ball. We can't really help it.
Wasn't quite as good
back 70s
then.
animation, can't really help it. The cool parts of it was seeing all the towers falling and all that, but still not very impressive. Epicness, only a 25. All we really saw was Goku going through buildings, whipping out his powerful and ramming them down, which is kind of cool. But still, not that
a lot.
Yeah. And 29 for uniqueness, again, just Goku destroying shit.
Not like we haven't really seen that in the rest of Dragon Ball Z, GT, Super.
Yep. And pacing, 58. Not bad. For a whole army, they fit it in pretty well. Nice fast pace. You could maybe argue for a little bit higher there. It's up to you. But we gave it a 58, slightly above average. If 5 parts, it felt a little bit long for us. Anyways, not to 98, we have
Good old Bio Broly versus Trunks, Goten, and
Android 18, and a little bit of Krillin in there as well. Alright.
He likes Android 18.
Yeah, boobs. Alright,
Yep.
guys. This, consequences, again, you guys should know. 0 for this.
It's a movie.
Yeah, it's a
Nothing happens.
shitter Brawly, which looks freaking disgusting. We'll get that a little bit later. The 0 for consequences comes from... Come on, it's Brawly. We just saw him get killed twice.
And then he comes back.
Android
again.
18 is like Super Saiyan 1.2 or whatever you want to call it. She was a fairly large amount stronger than Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
So she should have really no problem. But she has 2 Super Saiyans to back her up, which are still fairly weak for Super Saiyans. They were a little bit weaker than Goku was when he was on Namek, but still, they're still good backup. And Krillin has a Destructo Disc, which is still one of the strongest attacks, so whatever.
Except versus Cell.
Yeah.
Cell
For our presentation, this is probably our lowest score for movies in presentation in our whole list. Give it a 20. Again, I just said Bio Brawly looked freaking disgusting. Anything you want to say, Mitch?
Yeah, he just looked disgusting. And movies, they should have a higher presentation score because they have a bigger budget and all of that jazz.
Yeah, like, if you haven't seen Bio Brawly for whatever reason, Bio Brawly looked like a man made out of puke. Like, there's nothing to look there.
If you just look at the pictures on the screen, I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Yep. Alright. Epicness, a 30. Nothing real good happened. Just a decent fight. Uniqueness, 65. We gave it a decent score in uniqueness because as much as I don't like Bio Brawly, it's a unique creature, I guess you want to call it, Mitch?
Yeah, I mean, if creature even counts as Bio Broly.
Yeah, and we don't see 18 fight a whole lot after the Cell arc, so that's always kind of cool to see her. She was really kind of a wasted character, really. I mean, she was so strong and never really gave her a chance to get any development. That might be a video for another day. And for pacing, we got a 50. Right on the dot as average. Yep.
I mean,
nice stereo effect with me and Meech, right?
Yep.
Alright, so for 97, we go to everybody's favorite arc in Dragon Ball GT. Alright, in GT, starts off with everybody's favorite character that ended Z. JK, no one likes him. Except for, if you see his potential, I get it. Oob versus Goku, training on Kami's Lookout. What do you think of this one, Mitch?
I mean, I know we're joking about GT being one of everybody's favorite arc. Most people hate it, but it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it had its moments. This one's not really one of those moments, though.
No, it's not.
For consequences, it's just a train sequence, so it's 0.
Yeah.
For presentation, they made it look pretty good. We gave it a 61, our
above
highest
average.
presentation so far. And epicness, 51, slightly above average. It did some cool stuff. It wasn't anything special, though.
No, it was just kind of training.
Yep, and uniqueness, again.
It was just training, so we gave it a really low score of 12.
Yep, at 12. And 43 for pacing. Because we could like to see more, I think. For as hyped up they made Goku for how strong he was, and that's all you to see for his training. I think that they should have shown us more or made it look cooler for a short amount of time, so that's why it's only a 43.
Yeah, and how much they also hyped up Oob. Well, not like he's the reincarnation of the strongest
Villain we've seen so far, yep.
Yeah.
Finish your sentence like a married couple, Mitch. Alright.
Yeah, we are.
Yep. Now back to Z. We bring you the last tournament before Oob. We have Goten versus Trunks.
Or Mighty Mask versus himself.
Yes. The
Upper Mighty
championship
Mask.
round and the kids round was actually a pretty good, decent fight. Again, this is a tournament fight. We give it a 0 for consequences. Nothing bad's really going to happen. For presentation, a 56, slightly above average. A couple kid Super Saiyans bumped it up a tad bit.
Yep, I mean, I thought it was pretty cool when like Goten was sliding back into the bleachers and he was almost stopped and then he ended up not stopping. I thought that was a pretty cool effect that they did.
Yep, and the epicness 33. Really, Goten and Trunks by themselves are kind of trash.
They really are.
Yeah, so they can't really do much cool unless you add in Fusion Ha. Alright, and uniqueness, a lot of these tournament fights aren't that good unless really Dragon Ball really beats out in the tournaments. The Z tournaments are kind of unimpressive. The uniqueness is only 22, but the pacing's of 56, another slightly above average. A grade for pacing.
Yep. And then for number 5, we're going back to Dragon Ball when we have
Z. Dr. Wheelo is Dragon Ball Z, dumbass Mitch.
It's alright, we're going to Dragon Ball Z movie.
And it's a movie, so we gave it a 0 for consequence. Again, the movie. And 43 for presentation. For being one of the first Z movies, they did a pretty decent job, but again, it's one of the first, so it's not as good as some of the newer ones, so it's down a little bit. For epicness, we gave it a 58. There were some cool things to do with it. Uniqueness, 30. It's a movie. The people get beat. They redid Saibamen, and Goku got the last kill.
Yep, that's how all movies work.
Yep. Pacing, 45. A little bit slow at times, but still not too bad.
Nope, not too bad. Would like to point out that's our most epic fight so far.
Yep. And
at
we go to the
we got coming
Namek Saga, my favorite saga in the series, by the way.
So I'm not introducing this one.
Alright, Mitch, take it away.
And at 94, we have the Nail versus Frieza fight.
Alright, Mitch, you mispronounced it wrong. It's Nail. Alright.
Oh, my bad.
And for Nail versus Frieza, we have a tiny bit of consequence here at 2 consequence out of 50. Now, here where I come with that 2. If Nail doesn't stop Frieza as long as he did, Frieza might get there before they can revive Piccolo. Then he might kill him before they can before Piccolo can get there and stall him out until he gets to his 3rd form to give Goku his time to heal. So that's that 2 for consequence right there. Not a whole lot, because it's kind of a stretch, but we gave it 2.
Just a stall.
Yep.
Most of the stall happening there was in the flying to the fighting ground.
Yep. And at presentation, we gave it a pretty high score so far, a 71.
Highest yet.
Yep. 71, that's a pretty good score. I thought it looked really cool and ripped off his arm. Maybe I'm just morbid like that, but that was pretty cool stuff. Yeah, Frieza flying around. Epicness, 30. Nothing really happened. There's nothing big, explosions, nothing that a lot of Z fans like. But uniqueness.
Nail tried to karate chop him, and Frieza said no and ripped his arm off. And then he grew
pretty
his
much
arm
what
back.
happened.
And then in Dragon Ball Z Abridged, Nail regrew his arm back, and he got it ripped off like 3,000 times.
That was pretty good shit. Good job, TFS.
Pretty fun.
Alright, at uniqueness 78, we don't really see a random dude try to take on the main villain and do a decent job of doing it. Yeah, sure, he didn't stand a chance, but he didn't die.
No.
He never died. Frieza won without a sweat, but he stood there, got his ass beat, and didn't really give a shit. He was pretty much Krillin, but Krillin dies. Alright?
Yeah.
Alright, and for pacing, it's 22, but not really on the fault. It made sense because he was trying to stall. But as far as the fight, it was dragged on, but it made sense for the story.
Made sense for the story, yeah, but it was not fast enough for what we wanted.
Yep, for the fight alone. Alright, now 93, Mitch.
Yep. Here we have Krillin and Gohan versus...
And Vegeta.
Yeah, Vegeta finished it really quickly, but we have them versus Goldo.
Goldo! Rhyme style, spirit animal, and Dokkan battle. Alright, consequences, we gave it a 15 because Goku was on his way, so that's why I dropped it a decent amount, but you didn't know how long it really was going to take him, how fast they'd be able to, if they could beat him when you're first watching it, so it has a decent score in there.
And then Vegeta ended up just karate chopping his head off.
Yep. Presentation 35. There was no real build-up. The music was alright, especially in Kai, because they'd get their own theme for the Ginyu Force. Again, Galdo is just a pickle, so not a really attractive person at that.
Throw dog treats at him.
Yeah.
I find it hilarious.
Epicness 28. The only thing really was his
time stop ability.
Yep, and that's the only real thing that gave it anything. Uniqueness 29.
Again, the time stop ability. That's
about
all it was.
And they killed him by slapping his head off. It might look kind of cool, but for Z standards, it doesn't really cut the cake for us.
Nope.
But this does have a very high score in pacing because it's a 71. For being like the first of the whole army that really came out of him. And they take him out fairly quickly, but he does show that they're strong and they have unique abilities. So that's why we gave it a pretty decent score in pacing.
They're all different, yeah.
Alright, and for another movie, we bring you to the BoJack Unbound. At number 92, we have BoJack's Minions versus Gohan, Piccolo, Trunks, and Vegeta. Do you think it's all of them? Alright, so the shining moment...
We missed a couple, we're not trying to leave them out. Just a lot of people.
Yeah, it was one of the few group fights in Z. And one of the shining moments that I'd like to point out was Trunks gotta fight someone else with a sword. So
that was kind of
that's pretty dope.
Cool.
All right, but again, consequences. This is a minion fight, and it's a movie. Exactly.
Yep.
So 0
for consequences.
And for presentation, what do you like to say about average? 50. And
50, then exactly average.
Yep. And this is a minion fight, and the movies really don't like making those look too cool. But we gave it a 30 for being, I guess.
30 for epicness, though.
30 for epicness, what I was saying. And a 60 for uniqueness. Again, I thought the abilities from some of these people were pretty cool. Zanya's stuns, finger, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, the stun like lasers or something.
Yeah, whatever the fuck.
Don't know what to call them, but
yeah, that was pretty unique. Seeing all these people fight together, pretty cool. Very rare for a movie. But that's a minion fight. So yeah, it felt like it might have been dragged down a little bit long, so we dropped the pacing down to a 40.
40, just below average.
All right, let's get back to the canon Dragon Ball Z for the last one, Mitch.
Number 91. I guess we could just reverse that order and say Android 19 versus Goku.
Yep, the fat clown mime. Whatever the fuck, Andrew. I don't know what Dr. Joe was drinking when he made that one. And
the one that can absorb energy.
Yep,
just like Jiro.
Yep, versus Heart Attack Goku. At the time, we thought Goku was the strongest one except for maybe Trunks. We thought Piccolo, we saw Piccolo train some. We don't know how strong he is.
I don't think he could keep up with.
But we did give the consequences a little bit above average at a 30. Just again, as at the time, you don't know that you don't know a Vegeta Super Saiyan. We don't know that how strong Piccolo is. Even though we see that Piccolo can go toe to toe against Dr. Gero
and kick his ass.
Yeah, pretty handily. All right, but at the presentation, we gave it a lower 38 because the design of 19 is goddamn awful. Sorry, Toriyama, I like your stuff, but he looks freaking dumb. A fun fact. Those are supposed to be the main villains of the arc, but the editor for Toriyama told him that that's retarded, so don't do that. And he made 17 and 18, and he said that those weren't menacing enough, so he made Cell. Alright, the mind Toriyama for y'all, folks. Alright? And the epicness for this one's only a 20. Pretty much just punches and kicks. There was a one
Goku having a heart attack.
Yeah, there's a one Kamehameha that was a Zorb because Goku's a dumbass, or Yamcha's a dumbass, really, for not telling him.
Yep.
Uniqueness, we gave it a 56. Absorbing is somewhat unique.
Yep.
Pretty much sums it all up right there.
Yep, that's pretty much all it was.
And what do you feel about the pacing, Mitch?
It was not good pacing. We dropped it down to a 38.
Yeah, a little bit sluggish at parts. Wasn't too bad, but come on, Z, you can do a little bit better. But a heart attack, and we'll end you guys off at that. We aren't sponsored by McDonald's, but we just like to end you guys off with this heart attack video. And see you guys next time for 90 and much more. And anyways, guys, see you guys later.
Yep, bye.